what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Guitar Guts podcast with me, Mark Murray. Today is a special episode with a cool dude named Chris. I think you might know him more, though, as Uncle Sasquatch. He's a dude who super shreds on the guitar, and he had a page for a while, disappeared. He left Instagram, and then came back. So I never thought I'd have him on. I thought he was just gone, and he wasn't going to be doing this stuff anymore, but he's back, and I know him as a dude who's always shredding in what to me looks like it's like in a barn in his pajamas, playing Rhodes guitars and just shredding. But we're going to get the backstory on him here and check out his guitar collection. All right, before we get into the episode, I want to thank my sponsors. Whether you need kill switches, custom picks, a pedal board, pedals, pickups, coffee, amp simulator reviews, or Floyd Rose and other guitar upgrades, they've got you covered. These are companies that support me greatly, so check them out. Links and information is in the description down below. Also, please check out GuitarGuts.com. You can get a Guitar Guts t-shirt, Guitar Guts guitar wall mount handmade in the USA, and right now there's even a few limited edition Guitar Guts picks made by my friends over at Iron Age Guitar Accessories. You could even get physical copies of my album, Alvas de Amor, and my new EP, Vacation, on GuitarGuts.com. Or you could stream it all. All my music is over on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, Pandora. Anywhere you stream music, it's available there. Also, don't forget to go hit that subscribe button right now so you don't forget. We got new episodes coming each week, so you don't want to miss one. All right, let's go ahead and bring on my guest. All right, well, welcome to the podcast, Uncle Sasquatch.
How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's my weekend, my day off today and tomorrow, and so I usually spend my weekend just kind of relaxing and really, that's about it. I mean, I usually save my weekends just to do as least as possible. I'll get out once in a while and try to do a few things just to kill some time, so I don't go get a little bit stir crazy. I can get cabin fever in this place. So,
is that when you record your videos, or is that during the week?
I'll record kind of whenever I have time to. It'll be during the week sometimes. Sometimes it'll be during the weekend. I'll try to get a couple in. But it's nothing that's it's not a priority like it used to be.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to get into that cycle of if you don't have something to post, you start freaking out, or if like you edit something wrong and you leave the house and then you realize your video's fucked up, you like stress out all day.
Yeah, that's a part of it. It's I guess it kind of comes with the I guess this kind of occurs with Instagram guitar players. There are a lot of them who take it very seriously. Some of them take it way too seriously. And it's not to say that at one point that I didn't take it seriously. I mean, I was very into it. It's still fun now. But there's at one point, I'm sure we'll get into this more, but I just got burnt out, and I took a year hiatus, and so probably a little bit more than a year, but it's just around there. But I just, and not to bad talk anybody who does take it seriously. It's fine if you have lots of different platforms to put your music out there, whether it's original songs or covers. That's totally fine. If you can make money off of it, if you can get sponsorships and endorsements, that's great. And I know a few people that I've kept in touch with that they're doing pretty cool for themselves. They got amp endorsements and picks and pickups and all that stuff and guitars, and that's very cool. I'm happy for a few of these people to name just a couple. Like Guitar Chugs is one of them. He's got an app endorsement with PV, and when he told me about that, I was stoked. I was like, cool, man, little kid doing his shit, And Matt Prosser, M-Pro Guitar on Instagram, it's always been a bit inspiring. When I first started talking to him, when he would tell me about how he's got his endorsements with Savage Custom Picks, and he gets care packages from Mathis Guitars, and then I've seen you've got some too before in your past videos and stuff like that, and he's had with Black Star amps and Serpent King guitars and different stuff. I think a cable company too, instrument cable, but it's very cool. I'm happy for them, and I always encourage them, and so.
So does that not really appeal to you? You don't care about getting like free gear or getting sponsored or anything like that?
At one point it was a goal, in a way, to get if I could get a little bit something here and there, that would have been fine. And I did for a short time. Matt had introduced me into Savage Custom Picks, and they had given me an endorsement, and they did take care of me. They even went as far as to making me my own signature pick and putting me on their website and all that. And whether it's a boutique company like them or something bigger, it's still pretty cool, and I was happy about it, and I was stoked, and they made my pick from with the dimensions just down to the T. It was perfect. Very good craftsmanship and attention to detail, and but after I had one day when I was during that, I was kind of like, I think I'm done with the Instagram thing, and with no warning, I deactivated the account. I wasn't going to do anything like, there's a lot of people out there who like the attention, and they use social media for that. Oh, I'm going to delete my account just so you guys know, and it's like, well, just fucking do it. Why are you telling us? And had I, when I deleted my account, I still had whoever, that a concern that I can still keep in touch with, So when I had done that, it was kind of a given that doing that, I was like, okay, well, I kind of unintentionally stuck it up the rear of, Savage. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't trying to burn them. And, but it was just, yeah, but they were cool with it. I had talked to Daryl afterwards, and he said, I understand, it's cool if you're done with the Instagram thing, but I just felt bad because, he had worked so hard for me and he had done so much, and I kind of bailed. But anyway, but back to your question about the endorsements thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, and, I'm not saying that I don't want free shit, but it's, at the same time, it's like, well, if I were to get a guitar endorsement, that's fine and all, even if it's a low tier one, and they say from, brand X, they say, well, we'll give you a discount on your purchases. And I was like, well, cool, but I have kind of a lot of guitars right now that it's kind of hard to keep up with them at times, as far as maintenance goes. I do play them all, but I have 10 that I use. And so it's kind of like, well, anymore I'm going to start losing space. And so it's kind of like, well, I have more than enough, and I do make good use of it. And, I have a good amp here and lots of gear. So I guess if it came down to the endorsement thing, a guitar string endorsement, that would be cool. I've always used Dean Markley Blue Steel. I have reached out to them, never did get a response, but which is fine. I don't take it personal. But, that's a cool one because that's something I'm using all the time and that I need all the time. So if they were to say, well, hey, we'll, give you a small discount, I was like, I'll be fine. So.
Yeah, I'm with you about the. People have asked me too, like, which company would you want to be sponsored by? And I'm like, well, if I've got a shitload of guitars and I'm not going to stop playing them all, so they got to be cool with that. And then, like you're saying, a string sponsor, that would be awesome. When you got a ton of guitars, that's exactly what you need.
Yes, strings and picks. Before Savage, for a year or more, the main pick that I had found and fell in love with and that I'm using now is from a small brand from the Netherlands called Chicken Picks. And I was on a hunt for a pick like that. Basically, the pick I use is, let's see if I can get a clear shot of this, but it's, I can't remember the name of the material they use that is apparently patented by them. It's some kind of polyurethane resonated something or other plastic, but it's pretty durable, and I have a very heavy hand when I pick. I have a tendency to really dig in and hit the strings very hard. I'm a huge Zakk Wylde and Kirk Hammett fan, and they just really, just strike on the strings. Not to say that I hit just as hard as them, but watching them play growing up, I always thought, well, that's how you're supposed to play. So, I mean, these picks are good because they last a long time. If it's anything like some of the cookie cutter picks from whatever big brands that you get over the counter at Guitar Center, and just in a week, I will have them, deformed and worn out and no good. So.
Yeah, that pick, it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you can see the bevel on this. This is a Mathis pick. And it looks pretty similar. It actually has like the bevel, just the shape is completely different, but
Right.
that's a weird looking pick. I've never really seen the one like what you're using.
They have a few different sizes, and this one that I use is called the Badass, spelled with 2 Z's, and it's a 2 millimeter. I do love really thick picks, and it's got the bevels and everything, and it's got a good sharp point. Basically, the best way to describe it is that it's an oversized jazz pick. It's got a good wide thumb grip, but just kind of barely peeks out, from my fingertips like a jazz pick would. So, the big thumb grip really helps for rhythm guitar playing, because for smaller jazz picks, I really can't do any kind of Metallica rhythms because, it just, my thumb gets in the way. So, I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you about the jazz picks. They're a little too small for me, but I should try those out because that's kind of like the best of both worlds. For people, do you have big hands or something?
Yes and no. I guess overall mass, you can say they're big. The thing is that I have big palms, but I have short fingers. I kind of wish I had like those Steve Vai, ET fingers. At least on my left hand, my fretting hand. But it's, I make use of it, but sometimes I feel like if they were just a little bit longer and if I had lady fingers, that'd be, So.
By the way, anybody who's watching this, if you're not following him on Instagram, it's at uncle.sasquatch. Look him up and follow him. And check out his videos. Dude, you're such a beast shredder. Every video you put up, you're full speed. You're blasting away. It's awesome.
I appreciate it. It's really, I'm just a guy, I tell everybody I'm just a regular old guy playing covers in his bedroom. I get a lot of DMs and comments about people who they message me and great compliments and and I love them all. It does make me feel good. It feeds the ego and all that. But in a humble way. And it's when I had taken my hiatus and reactivated the account and everybody saw that. And everybody had messaged me like almost instantly. And I really wasn't ready for that. They made me feel good, and they say, well, we're glad you're back, and all that. And the funny thing is when I logged back into the account, I was just passing through. And I thought I can do it without anybody seeing. When everybody started messaging me, I was like, thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll try to upload video again to see what happens, but I'll have a lot more restrictions. One of the big problems is that I had got so tied up into making videos. I was spending more time editing videos on the computer than I was actually playing guitar. And the thing is that that's what not guitar playing is about for me. For me, it's always been about playing for hours until my fingers are completely done. Whether back in the band days we would do tireless hours, and before and even now after my band days, I've come full circle to where I'm playing, back in my room jamming to a big playlist of cover songs, and I play until the night is over, until I'm ready to go to bed. And I wasn't doing that anymore when I was making Instagram videos. I was recording these 60-second shots and then putting them on a computer and then spending an hour or two putting them together and syncing up the audio from from what I had mic'd and on the amp. And one day I was like, okay, it's already midnight, it's about bedtime, and I barely even played my guitar. And that was kind of the first start of, I guess, what you can call an Instagram burnout. So now it's when I make videos, it's kind of, okay, what did I do? Kind of my daily ritual. I went to work and I came home and I got some exercise in. And after exercise, I'd play guitar for a couple hours or more. And do I have some time to make video before bed? Sure. I'll squeeze it out real quick, and I'll make it and just post it and just let it go after that.
So this is your room?
This is this is one of my bedrooms. It's this is my computer, internet, guitar room, whatever the hell. This is where I am almost all the time. My living room is so neglected. I spend a few hours in there every weekend. I'll binge watch some movies that I have. But other than that, my other bedroom, that is just for sleeping. I don't even have a TV in there. You know, when I
Okay.
lay in bed, lights off, and that's it. Lights off, eyes closed, go to bed.
So the vibe I always got, because you used to record your videos in pajama pants usually.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
and like the way that you shot it, I thought this was like in your backyard. I thought this was like a barn or a shed or something because the wood paneling behind you.
Oh no! Well, I live in a cabin here in the San Bernardino Mountains. So yeah, all my walls are the tongue and groove pine wood. So
You live in the mountains?
yeah,
Holy crap. So the name Uncle Sasquatch is more fitting than I even thought.
yeah.
You are like a real like woodsman with long hair and a
Yeah.
beard.
Kinda. It was well, as far as like moving up here, it was I moved up here about a little more than 4 years ago, and it was basically because of the house prices were so good, and this is right before or as the housing market was starting to recover, and so I had got word that there's some good neighborhoods up here and that the prices are good and it's close to work. The drive down the mountain is 25 minutes to work, and 6,000 feet up. I got a good price on my home, and so that's why I ended up here. It was a little bit of a default, you know. So
Wow, so you're above a mile above the sea level.
yeah.
Wow, that's
So.
crazy. I didn't know any of that. So, I get the vibe. Are you like, do you have a good career? Are you like a scientist or something?
Shit. If I was, I might be living in a slightly bigger house. But no, not a scientist. I just do warehouse work for a large casino around here. Just working the docks and receiving and all that. The job pays fine. I mean, I can take care of myself. I can pay a mortgage and car payment and utilities and all that, and still kind of buy myself couple extra things here when I can afford it. But I live comfortably.
That's awesome. How long have you been playing guitar for?
I want to say it was the summer of '96, and whatever year that was, I just know that it was the summer before I started 7th grade is when I made the decision to play guitar. My grandpa, he has he had a classical acoustic, and an old Silvertone, a Sears Silvertone. I don't know who that is, but a lot of people may not know what that is. But they are collectible guitars for the vintage horse, and I got a really good one, in good condition that fell right into my lap from him, original case and everything. But those guitars are actually retired, but I would fool around on those constantly, not even knowing what I was doing, but I just loved just making noise on them. And then my mom saw I was taking it very seriously, and she took the chance and she bought me my first real guitar, which was just beyond me at the time. It was a Eddie Van Halen Kramer signature model. At the time, I didn't know what it was. I knew who Eddie Van Halen was. I did listen to a lot of Van Halen back then, but I didn't know that was a guitar. And so it had the Floyd Rose, which was just, I had no idea how to work that thing. That's not for kids. But I used it, and I had learned on it, and she had got me a crate combo amp. Oh God, it was the GX 30 maybe, with a 12-inch speaker in it. And I actually still have that amp. It doesn't work very well, but I have it. I've kept it. But yeah, it was around then that she bought me my first guitar, and she totally supported the idea and habit of me, learning the instrument. And I would say it was a good investment, Mom. So.
Do you still have that Kramer?
No, I don't. It got stolen.
Oh.
Yeah, it got stolen about a year after that. The shitty thing is that we knew who did it, but there was just nothing we can really do about it. It was a couple of tweakers. They were brothers. I remember one of their names was Sean. I can't remember his brother's name, but it's gone. Who knows what happened to it? And we did try to look for it, and we would take trips to random pawn shops because that's what meth heads do. They're ambitious thieves. They steal and hawk it for a small amount just so they can get their fix. So we knew to look in pawn shops, but we never found it.
So it was like one of the striped up models, like a crazy.
No, it wasn't one of the striped ones. It was this kind of maroon color. That's the best way I can describe it. Wasn't quite red, but it was just this awful, just reddish purple. I mean, I never did like the color of it. I was like, Mom, my guitar's gotta be black. But no, I was very happy to have it, and it was a great guitar. And after the just the kind of superficial aesthetics of the color, just after a while it passed. I didn't care anymore, and I was just happy to have a good guitar.
So you're like 12 years old. Did you have guitar lessons or anything like that, or did you just start rocking? And what were you playing?
I never had any lessons. I had my mom would encourage it, or she would say, if you ever do want lessons, let me know, and we'll see what we can do when we'll go to the local music shop. And I was too stubborn, and was always like, I don't need lessons, But my uncle, he would say, you should really take lessons, you should learn music theory. You should learn to read music. He was always urging that. Learn to read music. Trust me. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I kind of dove head deep into, or head first into learning Metallica. When I was in 5th grade, that's when I first started listening to music. Before that, I never listened to shit. I would just kind of catch whatever was on MTV, just because it was there. Well, I didn't really start listening and paying attention to music until my best friend at the time, his older brothers. He had a couple older brothers, Bobby and Ruben, and they were metalheads, and they were big Metallica and Slayer fans, and Morbid Angel. They got me into those 3 bands when I was in 5th grade. Fell in love with Metallica instantly. I don't know what song I first heard, but the first album I heard was Ride the Lightning, and the first Slayer album I heard over at their house was South of Heaven, and to this day that's one of my favorite Slayer albums. Morbid Angel, first album I heard was Covenant. So those are my bands. That and the Doors. Their brothers, his brothers Bobby and Ruben also were big Doors fans, and so was my mom. So I was familiar with the Doors, at home. So for a while, those were my 4 bands as a kid, but learned a lot of Metallica songs and some Slayer stuff, and learned the best that I could. And looking back, of course, lessons would have been nice because I thought I was playing certain things right, and I was leaving certain things out that I didn't know about. I didn't know how to read the key legends and tablature back then, and I didn't know what a palm mute was. I didn't know what a pick scrape was, and hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I was just playing, and it sounded right to me. So I was like, okay, that's how you play the song, and everybody thought I was good. They even thought I was good back then. I was like, okay, cool. But I never did take lessons, but later, a couple of years down the road, I took my uncle's advice and started to learn to read music. And my mom, and I think even him, they just started buying me books, whatever, beginner and an intermediate and an advanced, books of how to read music and how to use scales and which kind of serve which purpose for certain voicings. And it helped a lot, and it really trained my ear. What else? I guess that's pretty much it for the most part. I just started from there and then took off. I never took lessons. I got so far to a point where I felt that I was pretty accurate, especially when it came to, my playing and learning cover songs. It's like, well, do I need to learn anything now, or what is it that I don't know? But I felt I've done pretty good so far. I mean, we could always be better, but these days we have YouTube, and so.
Yeah, it's crazy now. I started around the same time as you in the later mid 90s, and obviously there wasn't like internet like there is now. There was no YouTube videos, and even tabs were like pretty rare. Like they wouldn't have just any song you wanted, 7 versions of it with guitar.
And they were inaccurate, yeah.
So it's like hard to find them, and the tab sites used to get taken down all the time, and then they'd come back and under a different name, and so it was a completely different time back then. I used to always buy like the Metallica books that would have like the whole album's worth of songs.
Right.
Then you learn the songs, and you find out later they're all fucking wrong, so you got to go relearn them.
Yep.
Instagram guys let you know you're playing it wrong, so you got to go relearn them again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but my friends say I would say I am. But no, I haven't had that problem where people said I was playing shit wrong. I think one of the only trolls I got, which I took as a compliment, was I think it was like one of the first solos I posted Domination from Pantera, and one guy put in the comments, he said, "That's not you playing," and I was just, when I read that, I was like, okay, I really didn't know where he was going with that, and I responded, and I go, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, then who the fuck is it? And he goes, you're just miming it with the song. I was like, you can't hear my guitar? And he goes, no. I goes, all I hear is a song, and everyone else can hear my guitar. So I just told him, I was like, well, I appreciate it, dude. It's like, because I kind of flubbed one little note in that post, and you're telling me I sound just like Dimebag. Thank you very much. So, but I don't think I sound like Dimebag at all. But I do take pride in learning note for note, every single little bend and, the way it's played down to a T, when it comes to, learning a song. So
How many songs, can you remember note for note like that? How many solos can you keep in your head at once?
Well, songs front to back that I have memorized is about 92 songs, last I counted. I have a playlist on my computer, and I'll kind of break up the playlist throughout the week, kind of randomly into, different groups, for Monday through Friday or whatever, and I'll play. Basically, the song gets played once a week at least, and I'll play for a couple hours on, each little set. So I'll do those, and then once I start feeling I want to learn something new, then I'll get started on that, and I'll leave the songs alone for a little bit, and then learn another group of new songs and add them to the list. And if I have time, like I said, then I'll record a section of one of those songs and post it. So,
do you write your own music too?
I haven't in a long time. I haven't since I was maybe about 30. From about, I guess, 17 until about 30 years old. That's when I was in and out of bands and, writing music and trying to be a little bit more creative. My last band, Warslave, we were together for about 5 years. I met them when I was about 25. And we did well and all that for as far as being a local band and the different local areas. And we had a few good promoters. We had one really good one and very professional, all that. He gave us a lot of good exposure, and he would have us co-headline for, a lot of open up for a lot of thrash metal bands like Warbringer and Ex Mortis and Zombie Apocalypse, Vector. The list goes on. I mean, this is just a few people from a lot of years of gigs, but we got a lot of exposure with all these bands. He would give us a co-headlining spot, and so we would get that spotlight right when people are starting to come in, and but that's when that was probably my best writing, was with Warslave, all the guys from that band. We as far as like my songs go, and my drummer and bass player wrote songs, and I would put in my little things here and there. But we would both bring pretty much complete songs to the table and start picking them apart and seeing what we can do better with them. And we never really had the ego too often of, well, this song is done, so leave it alone. We were always like, okay, well, what can we do to make it better? And we'd all meet halfway. And so that's one thing that kind of kept us together for a while. But no, I haven't ever, when I left the band life, and it's been about 6 years now, I haven't written anything original. I will post, I think a couple times already, I posted a couple guitar solos that were somewhat original. They were just kind of improv, being a show off, that's all I can really say about it. So, I mean, and those were just something, so I was like, well, I want to post something, but I really don't feel like taking the time to edit a song together and put the track in, so I'm just going to record a solo. That's the closest thing to writing something original. But no riff writing and anything like that. Maybe I will one day, but it's not planned. My niche for Uncle Sasquatch is to just cover songs. I cover just a lot of Metallica and Pantera and I love covering Randy Rhoads. I did put up a Randy Rhoads solo sometime last week, and it got fucking blocked from Instagram like within like the minute. That was just kind of a bummer, because if I can't post Randy, that's going to really upset me. But I'll figure it out. I got some tips to basically. Taylor Riff was saying, well, in that case, when he's had that trouble, he buries a song under his guitar, just so it's just barely audible, and it makes Instagram's algorithm a little bit harder to detect the song and take it off, and saying this song is owned by Sony Music, you can't use it. So
Yeah, a lot of people are having problems with that lately. It's kind of, it sucks. I've actually, I don't know why, but maybe because my playing is like too sloppy or something. But mine hardly ever get flagged. I've had like 3 flagged, if that ever. So, but also I do like put my guitar way louder in the mix, or like I'll get a backing track and play over that so that it does sound a little different, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I try to blend it in to where both can be heard well, and I'll do that with the Metallica songs where my guitar is just covering theirs, but you can still hear, the pops and clicks of the drums and vocals and certain things. So far I haven't had any problem posting Metallica and Pantera. The one Ozzy song I had a problem, and I posted a Long Live Rock and Roll, Long Live Rock and Roll from Rainbow, day before yesterday or something like that, and it was taken down within a half hour. And I was like, well, fuck. And I was really I was happy with that video too, because in that video, I think a few saw it before it got taken down, but I was wearing, I got dared to wear just a cooking apron in the video.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
So, did you see that?
Yeah.
So I did. And I had, my friend had told me afterwards, he goes, well, you should have turned to the side a little bit and, show some cheek. And I just kind of forgot to after I made the video. I was like, well, I already made it, and now I'm going to, put it up. But one thing I did to prove that I was naked was I had, put my leg up, so you can see that, I wasn't wearing any pants. So, but it got taken down. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll, maybe later on in the week I'll alter the song so where it can't be heard and just mainly my guitar and repost it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Let's see what some of your guitars. You said you have 10 that you play regularly?
Yes. All right. Well, let me start with the Workhorse. So after my, a few years after my Kramer had gotten stolen, my mom said, I'm going to buy you a guitar. Just give me some time. So in the meantime, I had the Silvertone that my grandpa had given me, and I was using that, which really wasn't great for metal because it has a lipstick pickup. And but I use it anyway. And it only has 18 frets too. So, but one day my mom gathered up the money and she got me an Ibanez RG Custom.
Wow.
The year is mid-90s. I'm not sure the exact year. I have made some changes and there's more to come. I'm going to put a Schaller Gold Floyd Rose on here. But I changed just the hardware. So this here is just one of my babies. It's got a lot of sentimental value. See if I can get a better shot. It does need a little bit more TLC since I've used it so much. This needs some serious fret work on it, which is something I really plan on wanting to learn. Everything else as far as guitar maintenance and repairs go, I do pretty good on, but the fret work I'm gonna learn that. So yeah, here's the this guitar is mainly when I'm learning a song, I'll learn it on this guitar, even though it's got some fretting problems. But I can do some performing on it here and there, but when it gets to the high frets, that's when it gets a little ugly.
I had actually never even seen that guitar until you just posted a video like last week or something with it.
I think if you, well, so that's I mean, it's because I don't use it often in the videos because it's got its it's got its little problems here and there. But I've used it on a couple posts a year ago. I can't remember which ones, but I know I have before. But I did use it for the Long Live Rock and Roll one. This one right here, Dimebag Darrell, Dymo Flame. Great guitar. It feels great. Plays great. Sounds great. I'm not a big fan of most Seymour Duncan pickups, but the Dimebucker sounds great. It is not far from an active pickup, but it's a very, very hot pickup. But I play this guitar is mostly tuned down to drop B. I'll play Damage Plan songs on it, or I'll play any song on it where it doesn't require me to play anything too high. The problem I have with MLs, or even trying to play any kind of Explorer-esque kind of body shape, is that they're fret hogs for me, and I can't quite get in there. I feel like I'm squished. Basically, if it's anything on this guitar where my pinky has to go past the 19th or 20th fret, it's going to be a little bit hard for me. So this one does get used, but for mostly Damage Plan songs, some Pantera stuff here and there.
Is that one a bolt-on or is it like a set neck?
That's a set neck.
Oh, it's still okay. I thought it would be a bolt-on because bolt-ons tend to be a little thicker at the heel, but
it has a small neck joint. That's not the problem for me. Just the problem is just the cutaway size, and it just isn't quite enough. Which brings me to the Randy Rhoads guitars. That is the big reason why I almost always play Randy Rhoads, or you could kind of say NEV, but because just the ergonomics of it. What's the fucking phone?
House phone.
Yeah, ignore it. But just the way the guitars are, they're very sleek to me and comfortable. They allow me to get a very acute angle while I'm playing, as if it makes me feel like as I'm playing classical, because it's always like this on me. When with the offset V, and having not come here, it doesn't get in the way of my thigh or leg. And then with this, it's just instant access all the way to the high frets, so it's not a problem for me. And I don't have a cutaway blocking me from finger movement. So this is the Jackson RR5 Japanese model. All my Rhodes are Japanese. I don't have any USA models. But yeah, ivory with black pinstripes, gold hardware, and tunematic bridge, neck through body. Simple, straightforward. I played a lot, but I'm limited to a certain set list of songs because of no Floyd Rose, because I use the Floyd a lot.
How long have you had that one for?
Oh man, let's see. I had it. When did I buy it? Maybe mid 2000s, I think. At one point, I had all the receipts for my guitars.
Where do you buy them from?
Oh, most of them I got online. I'll buy them on whatever Guitar Center, Sam Ash, Musician's Friend website. If I can get them, the ivory I got from Guitar Center, actually from the store. But all the other ones I believe I got online. I always prefer what I call a virgin guitar, fresh out of the factory box. It hasn't been touched by some, greasy hand kid at the guitar store, and I'll order straight from whatever website and get it delivered to me that way. So yeah, that one I got in the mid 2000s. This one I think I got in 2001. There's another. This is a RR3. This transparent red, flame top, and all that. All the guitars are all the same specs. They're all pretty much the exact same thing, just different colors. I have put these awesome Truss Rod Covers on there. I don't know if you can see that. The Randy Rhoads symbol. Yeah, this one when I got this one I was super stoked. This is a favorite of mine too. So this one I got in the early 2000s.
That one was always my favorite when I was newer to guitar, I guess, and I would go to Guitar Center and I would see those, and I know they made them, I think, the exact same one in blue, I think, with like the gray, silvery hardware like that. And I always remember that pick guard stood out to me, like with that cool gray silver color.
That's one of the reasons why I kind of bought it too. I thought it was a really cool combination of the red and that silver. I think it's called satin silver. I've heard some people call it satin chrome, but no, that's. I really don't see them made anymore with that color hardware anymore. So I did actually find a Schaller bridge in that color. So I'm gonna the Schaller Floyd Rose. I'm gonna swap that out as soon as the next restringing. So what do we got here? This one I got. I bought this one after the red one. This one's transparent blue. It's kind of hard to see in dark light, but it's a very dark blue. Chrome hardware, chrome pickups and all that. Same Randy Rhoads logo, and on the back of the body and side it's black. I wish the blue was just a little bit brighter, but it still looks good in person. So, I mean, yeah, as the guitars I'm showing you with the Jacksons, they progressively get lower in tuning. The ivory and transparent red are in standard. This one and the next one are half step down. After this, the black one is in a whole step. Then we got a step and a half down, C sharp, and then we got one that's a whole step down with a drop C.
Wow, that's awesome. That's the way to do it.
So they all have their purpose. They all accommodate the different tunings for different songs, and so on that, I can learn a big catalog of cover songs, basically. So this is a Snow White with black bevels, black hardware, same as the rest. They all have EMGs, 81, 85. There's nothing really unique there. So
Dude, that one looks sharp.
yeah, this one did take a while this is the most recent one I bought. And I bought it about 6 years ago or more. Only got to see one live show when I was in my band. I think I only got to use it once, maybe twice. But so this is cool. This was actually one of the last ones before Jackson discontinued this style of the RR3s. They still almost make them the same. They're actually making them a little bit better now. If your preference is a neck through body, because they're making it, back then they made them with the bolt-on necks, which is not a problem for me. I don't mind. I know there's some gear snobs that bolt-on neck, yeah, it's fucking beginner shit. Well, well, I'm not a beginner and I still use it. So, but they now they make the the RR Pros and RR MGs, I think they're called.
Is that the cheap ones?
No, those are the little bit more expensive ones that are below the USA models. But now Jackson doesn't make their second line models in Japan anymore. They're made in Indonesia. So, but so here's the all black on black Jackson. Same as the rest, just EMGs and Randy Rhoads logo, Floyd Rose, and I think maybe some of the only things that differ beside the color are just the color and straps. But
that one's full step down?
This one's a whole step, yeah. This is in D.
Nice.
So this is for the, Far Beyond Driven Pantera stuff, and, Sad But True, and Devil's Dance Metallica stuff, and whatever the hell like that. Sabbath, Master Without Reality album, stuff like that. So, but one cool thing about kind of using the same guitar is that, I always have that consistency. Here we got the step and a half down, C sharp.
The swirl.
Yeah, Crimson Swirl, chrome hardware, EMG pickups.
It's RR3 also?
Huh?
RR3 also?
Yep.
All RR3s, except for the ivory.
All except the ivory. The ivory is an RR5. But, they've, the only thing that I've changed as far as like some of the stock goes, aside from pending for some of the bridges, they're all the Jackson-made Floyd Rose bridge. So, I mean, like I said, I'm going to switch over to the Schaller brand. I would like to use the original Floyd Rose, but the Schaller brand is still very good. And for those who don't know, Schaller makes Floyd Rose. So, I imagine they're using the same metals.
What are these? Are these hanging on the wall?
No, these are on a... I'll try to show you in a bit here. They're on a guitar rack, and they're all like ducks in a row. So they're all sitting like sideways, against each other. And here's another black one. The difference with this is that I put some gold hardware on it. Mounting rings, the knobs, the bridge will soon be gold. Tuning heads are gold. This one is whole step down with the low E drop down to C. So I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this, but this is my St. Anger guitar.
Are you a St. Anger fan?
Yes, I am. I am.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's funny.
I am not a Metallica hater.
I think I like Saint Anger. Of course, I was turned off by the tones like everybody else, but once you get through it a few times, it's a pretty good album.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, the album is raw. It's muddy. It's really gritty. But the thing is that, I mean, don't we all listen to a lot of albums from whatever bands where, for whatever reason, the album sounds like shit, but the music's good? You know, if people want to argue and they want to say that, well, the music on Saint Anger sucks, okay, fine, you know. But I like the riffs. I love them, you know. I think they're still good riffs, you know. Yeah, sure, shame there was no solos in it, but, you know, nobody says anything when with all the Pantera songs that don't have solos in it, do they? And there's a lot of them.
Huh.
There's a lot of Pantera solos with, you know, songs with no solo. But no one says, well, fuck Dime when the song's slaughtered because there's no solo, you know. But, so here's the last one. This one works and plays great. Just needs my upgrades as far as the pickup mounting rings and bridge and pickups. But this is the Erie Death Swirl. So it's got some, you know, green and blue and purple in it, and chrome hardware. So the mounting rings will soon be chrome, and so will the pickups. I'm gonna totally bling this one up.
Oh, that's gonna look nice. Chrome EMGs.
Yeah, and a purple guitar strap.
Sweet. Do you have a favorite out of these things? All the Rhodes?
Oh man.
I mean, I gotta imagine they're all pretty close.
It's you know what? I don't have a favorite. They're all set up pretty much the same. I'm pretty consistent with the way I do setups, and as far as, you know, the action and neck adjustment and all that. I know the values that I'm supposed to use. I have, you know, tools from StuMac that help me measure that, so I don't have to use my eyes and hands anymore. Now I can put a number on it. But no, I don't have a favorite because they all sound the same. They all have the same pickups. They all play the same. At one point, there might have been a time in the band where I had favored a few of them more than the others when it came to doing practice and shows, but at the same time I didn't, because they would be in a rotation, you know. There was some that got love during a show, and then those same ones might not have been seen for a while because, you know, I was taking other ones out to shows. And I would kind of rotate them and switch them during band practice to, it also helped preserve string life, you know, having, 7 different guitars at the time, because I wasn't using the same strings every day. So I was getting some good life out of the strings.
For anybody who's watching this, if you're watching it on YouTube, comment down below your favorite of the guitars. I think for me, I like the dark red one with the whatever it's called, silver chrome, or not chrome, but whatever it's called, for sentimental purposes. But I think that the iridescent swirl behind you, I think once you do the chrome upgrades on the pickups and stuff, I'm pretty sure that's going to be my favorite. That thing is badass.
I am excited, dude. I'm really excited about it. I really can't wait. It's all that's on my mind right now. It's my next little project, and it's gonna take a little bit of redrilling as far as to put the mounting rings on, but I mean, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. So, but as far as looks right now, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a cool one. It was one I was chasing for a long time. So
yeah, for me, green and purple are my two favorite colors for guitars, and it's got both. So how can you go wrong there? And it's flashy. I love flashy guitars. So, any plans for any more that you're gonna add to the collection? Any other colors that you would throw in there?
Right now, no. I mean, I always window shop and I'll see other colors out that I don't have, and as an impulse, I really want to buy them, but sometimes I'm like, no, I can't. You know, I really can. You know, I shouldn't be swiping the credit card, shit like that, and blah blah blah, and so. But I have enough I have more than enough to hold me over, you know.
Oh yeah. So. Dude, I want to hear you write some more riffs. Do you have any of your old music up on the internet?
There is some stuff out there. It's really rough. There's homemade garage videos, music video type things that I had used, like using fucking what was it, Windows Movie Maker, and would take our self-recorded songs and put them to whatever videos or even a slideshow or some shit like that. There's a lot of live stuff on there that some of these venues they recorded and they would give us a copy of the DVD or on a performance on the DVD, and I would put that onto YouTube, home camera stuff and cell phone stuff, whatever. But that's all that's on there, I think.
So this is where you record all your videos here. Do you use like an actual amp, or are you using software? How do you do your videos?
I have a Marshall JCM 800. This is all my gear is leftover from being in the band. I still keep it and use it, but I have two crate 4x12 cabs with vintage 30s in them. I mic it with a Shure SM57, and it goes into the Focusrite with the 6i6, I think it is, and into the computer, obviously, and into Reaper, and record it and render the audio, and then attach it to I use DaVinci Resolve for my video editing, and and as far as recording video goes, I use iPod 6th generation. What is it? iPod Touch. So,
man, it's
don't have any, huh?
You got a sweet setup. Your videos, I've seen the quality over from when you first started out compared to your video quality now. With now you're doing like widescreen videos sometimes, and or maybe all the time. I'm not sure, but man, it looks crisp. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I put as much work as I can to it to make it look and sound as good as possible with my know-how and with what I have. It's one thing I'm not going to do is invest too much money into the Instagram thing. Maybe one day if I come across a better camera for a good price, maybe I'll buy it, so I can have a less grainy video. The iPod Touch is a little bit dated, so, and I don't use cell phones, so.
I would. So you live in the woods, you have a house line, and no cell phone. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Why don't you use a cell phone?
You know what? I've gone so long with never having one, and I've done fine. I have a landline, so if anybody wants to fucking call me, they can. If it's that important, you have my house number, you can call me. With my iPod Touch, I can use, texting apps. I can use Facebook Messenger or Instagram messaging, and get a hold of me on there. And the thing is like I'm always in a Wi-Fi area, so why am I going to pay for a cell phone? Why am I going to pay for that service when I'm at work? I have Wi-Fi. I'm at home. I have Wi-Fi. I'm at my friend's house. He has Wi-Fi. I go to mom's. Everybody has Wi-Fi. All I have to do is say, "Can I please get your password?" Yeah, no problem. And so I was like, well, why pay for it? I get messages right here, and if you want to video call me, if it's that important at the moment, do it on, FaceTime. So.
Are you planning on raiding Area 51 on September 3rd?
No, I don't want to die.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch what happens, but fuck, I would not want to be there.
Yeah, and if I did something like that, I have a high security job, so we can't really get in trouble, or they'll chop off our heads. So
yeah. Dude, this has been awesome. Thanks for showing me all your guitars and giving me your story and anything else. I don't know if you want to mention anything else, but.
Not that I can think of at the moment. Trying to think of if there's any unanswered questions. I guess I could say for anybody who's watching, any of the Instagram followers, some of them thought I blocked them. I didn't block anybody. I just deactivated the account, and I explained to some of them later, but didn't block anybody. I'm sorry I bailed on you guys without telling you, and I didn't realize how much everybody cared or missed me and was that interested in seeing my videos until I came back. So, well, I'm back, and I'll do the best I can to post, just kind of cover songs and whatever I can. And thank you guys for watching the videos, the support, the comments, and everything. It means a lot. So. Yeah,
man, people love you, and I never thought I'd be able to have you on because I thought you were gone, but it's been real fun to chat with you, man. Thanks for coming on, Chris.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, cool. I'll see you on the gram.
All right, man. See you there.
All right, and that is the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my guests' contact information down below. All their links to everything is there. Links to my sponsors, links to my information. Main one is at Guitar Guts on Instagram. That's the easiest way to contact me. Of course, please subscribe to the podcast if you enjoyed it. We got new episodes for Season 2 coming out every week, every Wednesday till the end of 2019. So go ahead and click right up here. That's the subscribe link. Right over here is another good episode of the podcast. If you want to check out some old episodes, here's an old playlist. This has all the episodes over here of the old podcast episodes. And I don't know, here's another cool video that I did recently.